SCP. You might ask, what is SCP? And that's what I asked many years ago when I was first learning about the topic. So now I'm going to explain it to you, as, well, I've had a lot of experience discovering many SCPs. I probably know at least 100 by heart. To put it simply, SCP is an abbreviation of Secure, Contain, Protect, and is basically just a government-funded organization to capture the unnatural, research the unnatural, and yeah, more or less that. At the time of making this, there's around 5,999 confirmed SCPs, and I'm pretty sure they're still going through confirming the 8,000s. Which means there's a lot of people making these. And to safely designate SCPs, you gotta put them into the 3 main object classes. There are, I think, 3 more object classes, but I'll get into them later. The main 3 are Safe, Euclid, and Keter. Let's start with talking about some safe SCPs, starting with SCP-999, also known as the Tickle Monster. SCP-999 appears to be an orange blob of goo and happiness. Whenever it gets near you or touches you, you will feel an overwhelming amount of happiness. You will also smell your favorite smells, taste your favorite taste, feel your favorite feeling, and yeah, pretty obvious. Oh yeah, did I mention that this thing is also the son of the devil? SCP-1025 is one of the more dangerous safe class entities. It appears to be an old book called The Encyclopedia of Common Diseases. It is one of the more dangerous safe class anomalies because whenever you read it, whatever flu or cold or disease you read, you'll catch the disease. So if you read about something like COVID-19, you'll get COVID-19. If you read something like the bubonic plague, you get the bubonic plague. See what I'm saying here? It's discussed as a safe class anomaly because it can't escape. It's an object. It's physically impossible for it to escape containment or even attempt to. SCP-343, also known as God, is not God. It's an all-powerful old person, I guess, that claims to be God. However, they are not. They willingly handed themselves into the Foundation many, many years ago, and have been contained ever since, not making any attempt to escape. They've never left their cell unless they were asked to, in cross-testing with dangerous SCPs like 682. There is a highly discussed theory that 343 only came to the Foundation when he realized that they contained 001, the Gate Guardian, who we will possibly talk about later. The next object class is known as Euclid, and I think we're going to start with 049, the Plague Doctor. SCP-049 is an old medieval plague doctor from most likely France. However, it can speak a wide variety of European languages. The coat and mask are physically connected to it, the coat presumably being skin, and the mask being its skeleton. SCP-049, whenever it touches someone, kills them instantly, starts reanimating their bodies, and turns them into a zombie, most likely because he thought they had something known as the pestilence. We do not currently know what the pestilence is, however, a lot of theories concluded that it's some sort of rage and hatred. We don't understand it fully, and he will not tell us. When he reanimates a corpse, it comes back as a zombie and will attack anyone. The zombie is designated as SCP-049-2 and is usually immediately terminated unless you can cure it with 500, but the Foundation doesn't use 500 anymore, so yeah. Next up is SCP-173, the first ever SCP to be written. SCP-173 appears to be a tall statue with concrete and rebar inside. But it's anomalous because whenever you blink or look away, it's like a weeping angel from Doctor Who. It will sprint towards you at unnatural speeds and snap your neck. Something else that makes it anomalous is that it can literally shit itself. Like, it can shit itself. They have to get D-Class in there all the time to clean up the shit. It doesn't eat anything, so I don't know how it shits. But we don't call it the sculpture. We call it Peanut. Arguably the most famous SCP is SCP-096, the Shy Guy. SCP-096 is a tall, emaciated, humanoid, pale, white thing with massive arms and claws that can crush a watermelon and a massive jaw, blank white eyes. SCP-096 is anomalous, not only for that, but also because it can survive in any temperature, can breathe underwater, can breathe in space, and is very, shy, hence the name Shy Guy. SCP-096 is someone views its face via directly, through camera, through video, through a photo, through anything, except for a drawing or an artistic representation. It will enter a rage state for about 2 minutes before sprinting in the direction of whoever saw it and killing it. Killing the person that saw its face. The person that saw its face is known as SCP-096-B. Canonically, SCP-096 is dead because, well, with a lot of cross-tests to kill the anomaly, ever since, an incident that involved the death of 40 to 400, I'm pretty sure, people. But, anyway, the anomaly had its neck snapped by 173, who we discussed previously, because its bones are usually indestructible, but when 173 destroyed the bone structure, they managed to inject acid into its bones, killing 096. Finally. We finally reached Keter, and not to brag, but one of my favorite SCPs is here, so let's get started. SCP-682 is sometimes discussed as the most dangerous and deadly anomaly in the whole damn Foundation. It's a giant reptile that can change size, change its body weight, change anything about itself. It can adapt to any situation, anything. It always regenerates. Even if you obliterate it down to a single atom, it will regenerate. It hates, and I mean hates, humanity more than anything on this earth. I don't even want to talk about it. Let's just go to the old man. SCP-106, the old man. SCP-106 is a World War I veteran who, well, is around 100 years old at this point. What makes him anomalous is that he can corrode anything he touches. He can walk through walls. He has his own pocket dimension, which is just an infinite maze with trenches and everything else. And yeah, his corrosive substance burns anything it touches, like melting it. And he smells like rotting flesh. He usually stays docile for a while, but whenever he wants to, can easily escape containment. To recontain him, in my opinion, he has one of the deadliest and most painful recontainment procedures. That's, you get a D class, which is like a prisoner that committed a lot of bad things, so they put them in prison. And you put them onto the thing, like the femur breaker, and you break their femur, making them scream and cry. You put it on the microphone, so it would attract 106 back to its base, back to its containment chamber, so they can easily recontain it at the cost to the D-Class's life. Time for my favorite SCP! SCP-4666, also known as the Yule-Man, is my favorite SCP. I don't know why, I just really like it. SCP-4666 is described as a tall 6 to 7 foot being from European/Russian/Finnish descent. It's murderous, okay? It's not human from DNA scans. It breaks into houses during Christmas time or 12 days of Christmas and will either leave toys for children or kill the families, take the children. Usually the killing is in a ritualistic way. SCP-4666 is the only entity on this list that's not currently contained. It'll only kill everyone that's like... So there are 3 criteria. Basically, the first criteria, it has to be above the 40th parallel line, which is basically everything above Africa. So that's like the United States, Canada, yada yada. Basically, the next thing is that it has to be covered by snow during the winter and during the 12 days of Christmas. And finally, it has to be, what's it called? Yeah, it has to have a child above 4 and under 8 to be attacked. And basically, yeah. The children, there has been one survivor that went to 4666's bag and was, like, taken. And they reported being put into a cavern deep below the earth and were forced to make toys out of other children. Really gruesome, really bad stuff. Anyways, there are 3 other criteria: Thomnial, Apollyon, and Neutralized. I'm not going to give any SCP examples, and I'm just going to describe what they are. Thomnial is when it's like an SCP that can't be contained, but can be used to contain other SCPs. Like, say it's like a building that's an SCP, you can use that to contain another SCP. Next up is Apollyon, which you cannot contain, and are basically inevitable. They are events or things that will eventually happen that cannot be stopped, and they are anomalous and are most likely going to end humanity. And the next thing is Neutralized, which are SCPs that lost their ability, or they died. The Foundation probably killed them. SCP-096 can be considered neutralized. It just depends what universe you're thinking of. There is one more that I'm not going to add on the list. I'm just going to quickly explain it. Explained is another class. Basically, it was an SCP that was eventually explained by science, so it was no longer an SCP. Bye-bye!